Okay, this is going to be part 2 range time of the Creative XP Black Hunter recurve bow. This bow is 57 pounds at my draw length. We're going to shoot 8 grains per pound of draw weight with an arrow. This arrow comes in about 460 grains. Let's see how she looks. Okay, first arrow. .205. Second arrow. .202. Third arrow. .209. Fourth arrow. .209. Fifth arrow. .216. Sixth and final arrow. .211. Wow. Okay, first arrow. It's a 620 grain shaft, about 11 grains per pound of draw weight. Here we go. 175. $173. $173. Fourth arrow. $172. $173. Okay, fifth arrow. 196. Wow, that must be a fluke. And sixth and final arrow. 171. I'm going to shoot one more just because that 196 was like a way off reading. Let's just shoot one more, okay? 173, that's more like it. Okay. Okay, that was pretty impressive. 470 grain shaft around 205 feet per second and a 670 grain shaft around 175 feet per second. Pretty impressive number. I do believe that's the fastest bow I've tested so far. I have to get back and check my number, but that is the fastest bow I've tested so far. Let's see how accurate it is though. We're going to put 3 arrows on this deer target, aiming right here. This is a Glendale Buck Big Shooter 3D target. Let's put 3 arrows right here and see what it does. 20 yards. Okay, folks. It's not only fast, it's really accurate. That's less than 2 inches at 20 yards. It is about 1.5 inches high at 20 yards, but still, that's one hell of a group. Let me step back to 30 yards and see how it does, okay? Man, they are in there too. All right, 30 yards, here we go. Okay, it's a 30-yard group, shooting off a little bit to the left, maybe an inch to the left, about 3 inches. And these things are in there, people. Alrighty, not bad. Okay, on my 20-yard again, you can see how the bow tillers and how it shoots everything. Put a couple arrows down range. Here we go. I'm gonna aim for that little rabbit target now. Not bad. Yeah, it looks like I pulled that last arrow. Let's take a walk down there and check it out, okay? I think I pulled that last arrow. Yep. Definitely pulled that last arrow. Still, pretty impressive shooting considering that the bow is a $67 bow. It's not designed to be a target bow. Come on, zoom in there right. Get it where it needs to be at. And I tell you, sometimes technology, guys, can be a real pain. That's the best I'm gonna get, I guess, right there. Okay. All right. Whew. It's definitely hot outside. Well, you see I got 3 right in the kill zone, less than 2 inches. I did have 1 flyer high. That was gotta be me. So, overall, that bow shoots really well. Let's head inside and get something cold to drink, and I'll tell you my final thoughts on this Creative XP Black Hunter bow. Here we go. Okay. How'd y'all like that review of this Creative XP Black Hunter recurve bow? I gotta tell you, I had to go back and check, but this is officially the fastest bow I've tested on all the reviews I've done. And we'll get that in a minute, but this bow is really, really fast. I was really surprised, and it's really accurate, and the bow really hits hard, too. But anyway, so let me get back to the bow now. Like I said, we just finished the range review time. Let's say I was impressed as an understatement. A $67 bow to perform the way it did is just unheard of. But Black Hunter's always been a great bow. They're designed very well. They shoot really well. They hit really hard. So, I mean, I was not quite expecting the speed I got from it, but I was pleasantly surprised, put it that way. Now let's talk about the bow itself. I'll tell you what I like about the bow, what I don't like about the bow, and then we'll go over my 6 things I rate all my bows on. Those 6 things being the quality of the bow, specifications of the bow, shootability of the bow, speed of the bow, how quiet the bow is, and also the value of the bow, okay? First, let me tell you what I don't like about the bow. What I don't like about the bow is this ugly silk screening sticker thing they got on here. That's just terrible. I am going to get that off there and clean it off and remove it. It's just ugly. Same thing here. But that is the only thing I really don't like about it. Oh yeah, I don't like a endless loop string either. So I mean, it's okay. I'll definitely replace this string with a Flemish twist fast fly. I don't like endless loop, especially on these strings here, because it's really hard to get your silencers in to stay, and it's just, I don't like them at all. So I mean, for a few dollars more, I mean, for $67, I actually can't complain. But I mean, overall, I don't like these kind of strings. I prefer a Flemish twist. All right. That's only 2 really bad things I have about it. Oh yeah, the weight's a little bit heavy. Bow weight's about 2.5 pounds. It's kind of heavy for a recurve bow. Most recurves come in about a pound, pound and a half, so it's a little bit heavy for a recurve. Most because that heavy, really heavy laminated wood handle they have here. All right, now let me tell you what I like about the bow. First off, I've always liked Black Hunters. I mean, they're great bows. They just look good. They fit my hand very well, like they were made for my hand. And I always shoot them really well. I don't know why, but I can really shoot these bows really well. I like the bow. The bow is really fast. I mean, really, really fast. This is the fastest bow that I've tested to date, and it's quite accurate too. And the bow really hits hard. I was watching a video. I was going through, scrolling back, checking a few things, and I was watching the accuracy part of this thing. probably, how's that accuracy? 2 inches at 20 yards, 3 inches at 30 yards? That's pretty impressive. But anyway, and the way those arrows were smacking into that deer target, it was like, wow, it was hitting hard. So yeah, I definitely like that for sure. All right. It is a 57-pound bow. I like a little bit heavier bow, so that's kind of nice too. So I mean, overall, and the money, I really love the value of the bow. You can't beat the price on the bow. All right. So that's my likes and dislikes. Now let's go ahead and start rating this bow on my 6 things I rate all my bows on. First being quality. Now quality is based on how well the bow's built. I mean, workmanship, craftsmanship, etc. Okay. This bow here, I couldn't see any kind of sanding marks on it. There is a little bit. If you look here, this limb fits perfectly flush with the handle, but this limb's a little bit off right here on the edge, not quite flush. It's flush on this side, but not this side, but both these sides are flush, so it's a little bit off there. Probably could have done, maybe the handle was sanded too much or something, so not quite a nice tight fit there. I think it could be a little better. There's no glue lines or sanding marks I can see anywhere in the bow. I don't see anything on that. The only really complaint I have about the bow is this: it should have probably not sanded so much off the riser. As you can see, it's definitely not lined up with this limb. And it is on this side, but not on this side. But this one lines up perfectly. So that is one thing I don't like about it. So quality, I'm dinging a little bit on that. So let's give it we'll say an 8 on quality, just because a little more time on that would have been much better. Okay. All right, let's move on to the specifications of the bow. Now, specifications are what you, when you buy the bow, what the bow is supposed to be rated at, if it meets those specs. If what you see online is actually what you're getting, that you're buying. This bow is rated with a 60-inch bow AMO, which it is. It was rated at 50 pounds at 28 inches, which it's not. This bow actually comes in at 54.6 pounds, almost 55 pounds at 28 inches. So it's almost 5 pounds off. The bow did say it came with a D97 fast light. That is correct. Also, on the website Amazon, it shows the bow come with the arm guard, a tab, the wax, string, knock, silencers, rest, and it also shows a sight in there too, a 1-pin adjustable sight, and there was no sight in the box of the bow, so it didn't have the sight with it. Okay. So the weight's off, and didn't have everything it's supposed to have in the bow, so we're going to have to give it a 7 on specifications, because it's missing that sight it's supposed to have, and the weight's 5 pounds off. Let's talk about shootability of the bow. Now, shootability of the bow is how well I can pick a bow up and shoot it, get on target real quick with it. Now, I've been shooting black hunters for a couple years now, so I do like this bow. The bow does fit me really well, and I've always shot these bows real well. So I was able to right away pick this bow up and get on target with it, start putting arrows downrange with no problem. So shootability for me with this bow, I'm going to give it a 10, because this was no issue with shootability with this bow for me. It shot where I was looking at, and it grew really nice. I mean, it just shot like it's supposed to, all right? Speed of the bow. Now, this is what really blew me away when I talk about speed. This is officially the fastest bow that I have tested to date on all of my stuff. This bow came in with a 470 grain arrow. That's a 470 grain arrow. That is about 8 grains per pound of draw weight. It came in at 209 feet per second. That's right, 209 feet per second. Let me say that again. 209 feet per second. That is smoking, folks. And it comes at 46 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. Now, with that 46 foot-pounds of kinetic energy, they say any bow that shoots over 45 can take any walking animal on the planet. So, at 46 foot-pounds of energy, it's pretty impressive. Now let's move over to the heavier weight arrow. The other one we have here is a 678 grain arrow. I said 670 in the video, but actually on the weight it was 678. That had an average speed of 173 feet per second. Now think about that. It's a 678, almost a 680 grain arrow coming off this bow at 173 feet per second. That's fast, folks. And it comes out at 45 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. So, I mean, the bow is just smoking fast, okay? So we're going to give it a 10 for fast. This is the fastest bow I've tested to date, all right? Now, quiet is the bow. Well, the bow's not really quiet. You hear a lot of string twang to it, a lot of thump to it. I mean, most of your takedown 3-pieces aren't that quiet anyway. Not as quiet as, say, a 1-piece is. It is, I mean, I'm sure it was some silencers on here and some limb silencers that would probably quiet it right down, but right out of the box, it's probably about a 7 for quiet, okay? Now let's talk about the value of the bow. Value of the bow is how what you get for your dollar for this bow. And I gotta say, for $67, what you get in this bow, the performance of this bow, the speed of this bow, I mean, not to mention all the stuff that comes with it now, but just the bow itself is just a very, I mean, for $67, how they even build a bow for that, and then include all the stuff they did, including giving you a free dozen arrows by filling out that online form they want you to fill out and send in. They'll send you a free dozen arrows. So it's got to be 30, 40 bucks there too, which, by the way, I'm going to be doing that. And I'll let you know what arrows they send me. But, I mean, for value, I mean, I can't, it's got to be a 10. It's just an incredible bow. Okay, so this is what we got total in this bow. We have 52 out of 60. Puts about in the middle of the pack, maybe a little bit higher than the middle. Okay. Now, who would I recommend this bow for? And I'd recommend this bow for anybody. Actually, this bow would be great for a beginner, or even, because I mean, you can get draw weights in this bow from a low of 20 pounds up to 65 pounds, according to the website. So, I mean, this bow can work for anybody, actually. It'd be great for a beginner, someone just getting into it. You got to spend a lot of money on it. Or great for that guy that's been a compound shooter all his life and didn't think about getting a traditional archery in, but didn't want to spend the cost on $1,000 traditional bow and all the gear you need, when this bow is $67, won't break the bank, and you can get into traditional archery really cheap and see if you like it. So I say for this bow, I mean, I'd recommend it for beginners, intermediate, or experts. The reason I say experts, because I don't have any bow in my arsenal. I got bows ranging from, well, $65 all the way up to $1,200, okay? And none of them, and no matter what the price range is, none of them perform like this bow does and shoot as fast as and hit as hard as this bow does, and is almost as accurate. This bow is probably as accurate as my 59 Kodiak, which is probably my most accurate bow I have. This bow is pretty close to accuracy-wise, but as for speed and hitting power, there's nothing I have to compete with this. I mean, the closest bow I have was probably about 201 feet per second. That was, what bow was that? That was another $65 bow, actually. Yeah, think about it, another $65 bow. So I got there's a video on that too. Look back in my video archive, you'll find it. But for a bow that as fast as this bow is, I cannot fault this bow at all. I recommend it, highly recommend it. I'll put a description in the box for you where you can get this bow at. I mean, it's just pick one up and shoot it and try yourself. You'll be amazed. You really will. All right, well, that's been my review of the Creative XP Black Hunter Recurve bow. This bow is a 50-pound bow at 28 inches. Actually 54 pounds at 28 inches. And my draw length pulls about 57 pounds. Bow launches an arrow 209 feet per second, and it costs $67, folks. Okay. Well, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this content, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, click that subscription button. Be sure to click that bell icon next to the subscription button so you're notified of upcoming videos. All right. Leave me a comment down and let me know what you think about this Black Hunter bow. If you got a Black Hunter, let me know what your thoughts are on the Black Hunter. I mean, I really like the Black Hunter bows. I've got several back there. I think I have 5, 2 recurves and 3 longbows. Well, this makes 6. This will be my 6th recurve Black Hunter. So, I mean, I do like the Black Hunter bow. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure, and thank you most important for your support. I'm over my 10,000 mark, and I'm shooting for 20,000 now. So I hope with your help, I know I'll get there. All right, guys, it's been Todd, All Things Archery and Shooting. Until next time, ciao.